Hello, humanitarians. This is Ron Giles. I'm here with Tracy, and we've got the Loved Ones Society International program that we're going to discuss today. It's the RSS program. We hope that you enjoy it. It's the beginning of your journey in learning how to do Loved Ones Society. So with that, let's go ahead and begin, Tracy.
Okay, so there's the humanitarian programs. There's 5 unique programs that are designed for ZIM holders to enhance their humanitarian projects using their own ZIM for redemption funds. Okay, so the first 5 projects we call the Revenue Sharing Solutions, or RSS, the Community Assistance Centers, or CAC, Private Home Funding, which is PHF, and the last 2 are more advanced, and Loved One Industries will be handling these, but you can also participate to some extent. Those are called the Economic Stabilization System and the International Commodity Clearing Houses. Okay, so the ZIM holders are what we call humanitarians who have a heart to serve the people and help change the world for the better. So our name for them is what we're going to refer to throughout these and other trainings are called managing directors. So the number 1 program and the priority is called Revenue Sharing Solutions, which literally will redistribute wealth to people around the world. It will spread organically, and you really don't have to manage much with it because it will be inside of a platform, which is a ledger that will be built on the quantum computer. So you, as a managing director, will be signed a master ID that will correlate with a funding account that you have on the QFS. And you manage everything on your own, so you don't need to worry about that. But it will all be done in the quantum consciousness. And the beauty about this is it will just spread organically. So you might have your first person be here in California, and next thing you know, you have people in Japan, in South Africa, in China that you're helping all over the world. And every download, every amount of income that these people earn will be specific to their country and its economy. But for today's purposes, we're going to talk about the currency in the United States of America.
The master ID number is the managing director's number. They'll also have a funding account, which we're calling the master account. The master account is set up by the managing director, and everything that managing director does in the program for funding will come out of that master account. So there's only one thing that they need to be careful or keep loaded, and that's the master account.
And we'll cover that in detail on the next video about the RSS platform. So the other 2 programs that are optional are the private home funding and the community assistance centers. So housing is the Alliance's priority. And the first step is we are paying off everyone's existing fraudulent mortgages. So all mortgages are going to go away. And then the beneficiaries is what we call people when they register into the platform can sell their home or buy a home. They can also recover their full home value, which is a beautiful gift. And everything on this program will also be fully automated. Now, if you want to participate in the 3rd program, that's where you're going to be boots on the ground. It's a community assistance center, which you will be working in different cities. So it will help small businesses and their employees, and it will help in a variety of ways with public servants and other organizations in your community that we can help fund and lift people up, help people start new businesses. And what we do is we hire directors to do the actual work. We just kind of oversee things as the managing director.
Okay. On the payoff of existing mortgages, a lot of people will know that that is part of what NESARA is. And our purpose here, we believe that the funding will come before the NESARA is announced. Our redemption appointments will be funding our humanitarian efforts, and this will be before. Now, between that period of time and when the SAR is announced, when all mortgages will go away, we're going to be paying off existing mortgages so that you have a home that's free and clear. And if you want to sell it, then when the time comes, you won't have to pay off that mortgage because it's already being paid off. So you will have the full value of your home that comes back to you if you're selling your house. A similar program would be to refinance, and there's a different word for that now. But so those are some of the things that that are part of our program now that will be taken. The mortgages will be paid once NASAR is announced. So let's go on to the next slide.
And all the details will be revealed in our video on the PHF program, so don't worry. Okay, let's dig into revenue sharing solutions. So this RSS program will address the problem that humanitarians have of getting money into the hands of people without causing chaos and without the need to pay out the funds time and time again for each individual you want to assist. The ZIM holders, aka managing directors, will receive the higher rates at the redemption appointment, and you will learn all about that in the redemption appointment training. And you can use the RSS platform, which spreads wealth to humanity 24/7, 365. So it works kind of like this. We have something called humanitarians or managing directors, and then we have something called beneficiaries. So meet Jack and Jill. Jack is a managing director or humanitarian, and Jill is a beneficiary because Jack has the money and Jill needs the money. So Jill's here thinking, how can I earn some money? And Jack's like, well, I can help you with that. So what happens? Jack brings Jill to revenuesharing.solutions. It is the website that the RSS will run on. It is not live now, so don't go clicking links and looking for it because it's not ready, and it won't be ready until after the redemption appointment. So Jill goes onto this website and she enters in all her information, and then she pays the $10 registration fee to register her account on the revenuesharing.solutions platform. She logs into her back office and sees her money accumulating at 10 cents a minute.
What does Jill buy when she pays the $10 registration fee? It's actually, she's buying an account. That account will be in the quantum financial system, and you don't have to pay for the account to be there, but paying the $10 fee gives you an account with Loved One Society in the Revenue Sharing Solutions program. That's what you've purchased, really. And so this money is yours because you own the account.
So at 10 cents a minute, it might not sound like a lot of money, but you know what it is, because 10 cents a minute turns into $6 an hour. And in one day, it's $144. That's a great rate of return on that $10, isn't it? And it doesn't stop there because it goes to $1,008 a week or $4,464 in a 31-day month, which is $52,560 a year. So that's a pretty good account to own. Okay, so how does it work? Managing directors participate using their own funds, which you will get after the redemption appointment. So you need to have ZIM. And if you don't have any, we have some to gift you. You just need to go on the website and look up the SKR tab. But each managing director will be given a master ID number, and then they can begin sharing the RSS program with others. And these others will use their own ID number. We'll cover that in a minute. So the managing director will fund the chain of beneficiaries that are registered under their master ID. And it's going to spread like wildfire. It's going to be organic. And they will fund this through their master QFS account that will be set up on the RSS Ledger platform. It's just a ledger account, essentially. And we anticipate thousands of managing directors throughout the world.
Okay, what is a QFS account?
A QFS account is a financial account that it's on the quantum financial system, which is going to be the way our new money operates. It is
Okay.
secure, and we cover that in a couple slides, but it is basically a secure account that operates on quantum consciousness, meaning a God consciousness. So it will protect you from nefarious activities. It is totally safe.
Correct. And the quantum consciousness, God consciousness, divine consciousness, is what created the quantum financial system. It's also given the responsibility or given credit for the Loved One Society's programs, which is the revenue sharing solution. So it's part of what the Alliance is doing for us.
Okay, so how do these benefits work, and how do these beneficiaries earn extra income? So essentially, like we said earlier, the revenue sharing solutions is an internet platform, and it's an accounting ledger. So there's no actual money sitting in the revenue sharing solutions. The money is actually sitting in the managing director's accounts, which are secure on the quantum financial system. So what happens is the beneficiary will accumulate money in their ledger, and the RSS computer will recognize that and track everything for them. And then all of a sudden they go, well, I need to put money into my QFS account. I need to pay my bills. So it puts in a transfer, the beneficiary will put in a transfer request, and the RSS will take that request, take the money out of the managing director's master QFS funding account and put it into the beneficiary's QFS account. So it is safe and it is secure, but the money is never on the RSS platform. It just goes from QFS account to QFS account.
Okay, that's interesting, because if there's no money there, it shows that there's money being transferred, but it's not real money. It's just an accounting ledger. So when you want your cash that says it's there, then you have to request it to get it out. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then it goes in from there. It goes from the master account, from the managing director, to your own personal QFS account. But you have to make the request for it. It's not automatic. Okay.
So the way I'm envisioning this is that at the end of the day, the managing director checks in, like it's just a routine thing. At the end of the day, they check in and they see, okay, what needs to happen? And then they just initiate a bulk transfer out of their, what is it called? Like their working account into their master account, and then it goes across to the beneficiary accounts, like
Yes.
boom, all of them get filled up.
Yeah, and we might just mention there's a number of different ways that you can earn money in here, and we're just talking about one at a time. So that master account or your account can be getting a lot of money coming through, not just 10 cents a minute or 144 per day. It could be quite a bit more, substantially more.
Well, I can't wait to learn how. Okay, once established, the RSS account is continuous for the foreseeable future. It is fully transferable to next of kin or any heir that you determine, and the beneficiary can be either an individual or a nonprofit, and all of these funds are legally bonded. In addition, Ron was alluding earlier that you can earn even more money. So one of the ways is the 6 holding accounts that a beneficiary can establish for whatever purpose they desire. Each holding account will also receive a 10-cent per minute download, which equates to $1,008 a week. And the number of holding accounts is determined by the spiritual focus of the beneficiary, and it can be increased over time. These accounts can be used for minor children, vacations, large purchases, or just any enjoyment that you want to set it up for. And we'll cover that in more detail in a little bit. So now we have 3 more bonuses that we'd like to share with you. So the first one is a thank you bonus. So a beneficiary will be paid $50 for every new beneficiary that they register under their user ID number. And it is paid immediately when the new beneficiary's registration is complete. So this is an example. So again, we have Jack and then we have Jill. So Jack told Jill all about the RSS platform. And so Jill paid her $10 into the platform as she set up her account, registered. So Jack immediately earned a $50 bonus as a way of saying thank you. Next, we have the registration bonus. So with this, the beneficiary will receive an additional 1 cent per minute download for every 2 new beneficiaries that they register under their beneficiary user ID. Okay, so then again, for this example, we have Jack and he registers Jill and Jamie. And for this, because he has 2 referrals, he will now earn another 1 cent per minute download. Plus, he will get that $50 for each of them for the thank you bonus. Okay,
Yes.
Safety and the RSS. So earlier, Ron asked about what is the quantum financial system, which he is very, very familiar with. And the RSS platform will be created inside of this quantum internet, and it will enjoy the security as the quantum consciousness oversees it. It will be unpenetrable, and the transfer of money will be instantaneous. So everything will be secure. You don't have to worry about hackers, because if you think about the quantum consciousness as alive and watching, so any nefarious activity that they try to, happen, anything bad that tries to happen, they will claw it back and block it so it won't be able to happen.
This is a brand new concept that is being associated with the Alliance. The Alliance are, you'll find the definitions and you can read up about what the Alliance is. But they have a very strong spiritual hierarchy. That means that they come from a different location. They come from non-physical. In that spiritual world, they know everything. Now, when they apply that to what we're doing here, it's a brand new idea. But they have given permission for us to do this. So we are going to allow them to activate these accounts when they feel that it is appropriate. And so what you're doing is becoming more acquainted with your spiritual hierarchy, your ascended masters and people like that. And that means that you're getting more in line and in harmony with the higher level of understanding. And in doing so, they're going to reward you with these higher rates that you're going to get from these holding accounts. So it's a real blessing for us, and it's brand new. You've never heard of anything like this before, because the Alliance has never been in charge of the financial situation or the financial accounts or transactions or financial system on the earth before. And now it is. And it's going to be done properly, and nobody gets a chance to come and screw it up for us like has been in the past.
And you know what I think is really cool blessing is that they can actually read your intentions. They can read your heart. So you don't even have to do anything, but they already know what you're thinking about doing. And so they can stop it before it happens, right?
Right. If it's not supposed to happen, then they will not allow it. If somebody gets into your account, tries to get into your account, and use your money, the quantum financial system will shut it down. Will not shut it down. That will block their activity, so they can't steal any money from you. Give them your phone. Give them your quantum financial account number. Who cares? Because the alliance will protect you. If it isn't you that's getting in there, then they won't be able to get in. It's safe and secure. It's God's way of doing things for you.
Mhm. It's pretty exciting, really, when you
What
think
a
about
wonderful
it.
blessing. Yeah.
And the last thing we want to touch on is JASARA or NASARA and the RSS program. A country's government does not have to be JASARA compliant and part of the QFS for the RSS platform to be active in that country. So, Ron, my question might be is if we have redemption and say one country, or there's countries that are not JASARA compliant yet, and then they become JASARA compliant a couple months later, will they be able to participate in the platform at that time?
It's a good question. The key to this is that it is going to be in the quantum internet. That's brand new. The old internet's going away. The new one is going to be called the quantum internet. The quantum internet is secure and safe. Anything that's going on there cannot be looked at by in your personal stuff. They can't look at that by anybody else other than you. So if a person was to get, let's say, somebody in Timbuktu, and Timbuktu has a government that is not JASARA compliant, you could still get your funds, and they wouldn't know about it. No government over there would even know about it, because unless you told them, and then you'll cause problems for yourself. But the government itself does not look into this quantum financial system and will never know that you're getting money from it.
So
and when you request funds to come into your quantum financial account, they won't know where your money came from. They have no idea. But the point here is that most, if not all, countries will eventually become JASARA compliant, depending on what country you're in. It's all going to happen. They've all signed up. Every country has signed up for it. If they don't follow through on it, then they will be taken out of their government responsibilities, relieved of their government responsibilities, and the military will put into place a new JASARA compliant government. That's the way it's going to work. So you have to be part of the program. If your country is not JASARA compliant, it might take a little bit longer for some than others, but it'll eventually take place, because that country will not be able to do commerce with any other country because they're not on the same financial system.
Okay, but
hopefully that'll be helpful.
So say Jack lives in Timbuktu and they are not JASARA compliant. Can he still sign up for the RSS?
Yes. That's why you have a financial system. And they use the financial system so that the cabal could squander your money and steal it from you. But the quantum consciousness has created this financial system so that we could rise up to higher levels of spiritual growth and development into the fifth dimension, and other people aren't going to be there. So it's self-fulfilling. Everybody's going to go. Let's just say it that way. Everybody's going to be okay, but it is safe and secure, and nobody can cause you problems on a personal basis. That's why I'm saying, if you live in Timbuktu and some person over there, you sign up because somebody referred you into the Revenue Sharing Solutions program, you're all safe and secure because you'll have your money in the quantum financial system in your currency, in your country's currency, so you can just go ahead and use it.
Funds transferred will be in the currency of that nation where the beneficiary resides at a rate appropriate for their economy. You know, Ron, one thing I hear quite frequently is everybody's afraid that all this money is going to go in and nobody's going to want to go to work. What do you say about that?
There's a concept there. I call it the lotto mentality. You know, you ask somebody somebody that won the lotto, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to go tell my boss where he can shove his job. That's not the way this is working. And those kinds of people who have that, I'm going to call it demented way of looking at life, meaning that they're only in it for what they can get out of it. And that's what most people are like anyway. But a lot of those kinds of people won't abide the higher spirituality. If you don't have the higher spirituality, you won't want to be here. You won't, because you don't belong. And some of us already feel that way. We don't belong here because it's such a low density vibration. So those who are in that low density, and I'll call it low density, and their thinking processes will not abide this. People want to be successful. They want to contribute. They want to be a part of something that's really good. There will be a few people who will take some of this money, and they're certainly not going to be growing much as a result of it. But there will be 3% or something. I've heard it said about 3%. And we don't care about those people. We just care about the people who are the 97%, who will want to contribute, who want to get involved and be of service to mankind and service to the oneness, which is the creation of who we all are. So it's going to be self-purging. Those bad people aren't, I shouldn't call them bad people, those people who haven't woken up yet or got their act together. Maybe there'll be time for them to do that. Hopefully that will be successful.
I just thought of something I thought that was quite interesting, is that as you were speaking, when people don't have to slave away, work just to put food on the table, they do have time to go within. They do have more time to do things that bring them joy. So that helps them grow spiritually as well.
That is correct. And unless they're really low density type people, they're going to get that feeling. You know, this is something that's new. I don't have to work all day, 2 or 3 jobs to make a living. I've got money that's coming in, and I can get a job in our programs, in these Love One Society programs, employment contracts, and have a real nice income that will help me to gain the abundance mentality instead of the lack mentality, which most people have, and they try and get everything they can for themselves instead of like getting what they can and then sharing the rest of it that they don't need with other people. And what a great way to live. What a great enjoyable feature that is, to have people who will help other people without worrying about themselves, because they have plenty.
Mm-hmm.
The problem we've had is we've never had enough to have plenty.
Mm-hmm.
So when that presents itself, then here's a new thought process, and that can change the way people live. And I anticipate it'll be that way.
And that wraps it up. So the RSS is about spreading wealth to humanity.
Yes, and that's what it's for. This is new money. It's being spread out to everybody. And everybody will have plenty of what they need for the things that they want to do when they're having a life. It'll be really good. and we get to move up into the higher spiritual realms, and this is going to help us do that without any limitations on ourselves and our ability to make changes in life that are really good for everybody.
Mm.
So this is what it's all about. We hope you enjoy it.
Well, thank you for
And with that,
creating
I
it.
guess, Tracy, let's just, we'll close for now and invite you to continue to watch the videos and to read about what we've got going, because it's a really major thing that's going to change the lives of how all of us live. Thank you for participating with us.
Thank you.